Ndizokubhalela incwadi ezokunika ithemba, ndizokuculela ingoma ezokuthuthuzela, hayi ungakhali, ndizokunika ithemba elingunaphakade, elingunaphakade, ndizokubhalela umbongo ozokuthuthuzela.
This is Cape Town's South Peninsula, an area characterized by islands of privilege nestled between sprawling patchworks of townships and informal settlements. Imizamo Yetu, Hangberg, Masi Pele and Ocean View are situated along the peninsula's most scenic routes, yet they bear the scars of past and present wounds that have yet to heal. Like Ocean View, still bleeding from memories of the 1968 forced removals that marooned once tightly knit coastal communities in a wasteland of rock and sand above a distant sea.
That is unfortunately a true perception that the people of Ocean View have, that they have been dumped in Ocean View many years ago, and it is as if everyone has forgotten about them. All the development is happening other side of the mountain, while the community of Ocean View has been left behind.
Here, many live in poverty, with low levels of education, high levels of unemployment, and the omnipresent risk of violent crime.
It's kind of traumatic. You're living in a neighborhood where there's constant shooting, bullying, and it's just not right.
For Ocean View's teenagers, this impacts negatively on their sense of belonging, identity, and the opportunity to transition successfully into adulthood.
With the result that many of our young people are aimless, they are completely without any idea of where they are going, and that is why our community is looking for young, strong people to stand up and to say, I am prepared to assist where I can.
One of these role models is Jean America. Born and bred in Ocean View, at the age of 34, he still fits into the category of youth, as defined by the South African government. But he is caught between an older generation still carrying the load of apartheid and a younger one trying to break free.
It's difficult because now we have to pave a way for our kids, but we don't have anything under our feet.
A visual artist and musician, Jean straddles contrasting worlds between Ocean View and the affluent seaside hamlet of Komaki, a few kilometers away. On weekends, with fellow musician Gary Slechter, he entertains crowds at a popular restaurant. It's a world far removed from Ocean View.
We don't have poetry, we don't have performing arts, and there's a lot of people our people are very expressive, and they'll express themselves in any way, whether it's negative, positive.
There's virtually no activities happening for the teenagers, with the result that we in Ocean View are struggling with a huge teenage pregnancy rate. We have a number of our learners turn into gangsterism, because if there's nothing positive happening, there are people out there who will keep our kids busy. Not necessarily with positive things, but they will keep our kids busy.
But Jean is on a mission to transform the greyness of his surroundings into vistas of colour, one wall at a time.
This was like a childhood area. I was sent to come by the daily needs, the basic needs. The previous owner of this property passed away, and he was in arrears. And when the news came to the community, they took advantage of the area, started squatting, started vandalizing, selling off the material, the bricks, the steel.
The City Council demolished this once vibrant shopping centre and bioscope. The remaining wall is the only fragment of memory that hasn't been reduced to rubble.
I want to beautify this place because it's grey, and the walls, it's grey. It's like a void. The flats, the way it's built, it's doesn't inspire, there's no inspiring.
Together with friends and some children, he painted this mural on the last remaining wall before it too gets torn down.
We were about 5 or 6 kids, and I went with their themes that they thought about. Everything they asked to put on, I put on.
And for Jean, some of the imagery has a profoundly personal significance.
When my brother started surfing, people laughed at him because he walked down to Komaki with his wetsuit halfway down and his flip-flops and his surfboard, and people laughed at him, you know, because it's not in our culture to do these things. And I kind of also, I use a little bit of like the worms. For me, the worms fertilizes and they fix the soil. We don't always express love in a way of hugging, in a way of saying that I love you. It takes one person just to step out of the norm, our norm. And that one person will affect another person, that will affect another person. So I can say there will be hope, there is hope. There is hope here for a generation to come.
A few kilometers from the pristine coastal village of Komaki, the apartheid-engineered township of Ocean View still carries its past on its shoulders. But residents like Jean America believe the debris of disappointed dreams can become the bricks and mortar of creativity.
Art is one of the only voices that I can think that you can at least just walk past and think of something different than just those walls and stuff that's been built without our permission or our choice, you know.
Jean is not alone in believing that art can uplift youth at risk in his community. His friends, Fabian Apolis and Marius Varis, are young entrepreneurs at the forefront of creative youth empowerment projects.
There are so many people in different communities that's doing brilliant work out there, that's doing great work, ordinary South Africans. They're not recognized, but if we as ordinary citizens can help these guys.
Marius is an artist and environmentalist with a vast knowledge of the Cape's historical roots. He conducts heritage hikes for tourists.
We tell them the history about the people of the Deep South, about Cape Town, what happened here.
But he also has a vision to bring digital technology to the overcrowded, under-resourced communities bordering the affluent suburb of Noordhoek. At the Noordhoek Learning Centre, he works with a company called AppShed, exploring and inventing cutting-edge creative technology.
It's the opportunities for anybody, everybody to learn. Either if you want to do music, you can do music. We've got a Raspberry Pi here to create beats on Sonic Pi and do coding. We do graphic designing here. We've got the animation studio here. You can put in animations or stories that you find in the community. So to portray things like that.
One of the passions of the AppShed team is robotics, building artificial intelligence toys and simulators recycled from environmental waste.
We use those things that you throw away and we try and put IoT to it, and you can build robots, or you can build RCA cars. These planes can be built. So this area is basically set up for those kids in the informal settlement, in the surrounding area of the valley, for them that if they want to become something in life, no matter where you come from or your circumstances or your surrounding area where you come from, you can still accomplish something in life.
But how realistic is it to offer advanced technology to students forced to learn behind security gates due to crime? Another disturbing reality is that over half of South African students drop out of school before matric, and the bulk of the country's unemployed are between 15 to 25 years old, living in communities where even Wi-Fi is a luxury few can afford. But it is precisely because of these challenges that the principal of Ocean View Secondary School has welcomed Marius and the AppShed team of digital entrepreneurs into the classroom for a pilot project.
Well, the one thing that I'd always admired about Marius was the fact that he was always prepared to serve as a leader. He was prepared to serve as a leader in the class. He was prepared to serve as a leader in school. And when Marius left school, Marius was prepared to say, let me be your big brother. Let me take you by the hand and lead you. And that is why our community is looking up so much up to Marius, because he is prepared to assist that youngster who doesn't have a dad to assist him, who doesn't have a dad to be a positive role model for him. Marius is prepared to step up and to say, walk with me, this is the route I would like to show you.
Mr. Klein used to be my biology teacher. He's now today the principal. He's given me the opportunity, and he saw something in me that I can bring something to the school.
They have just started up in that room, and already there is a need to start a second class because of the demand, the number of learners who want to participate in that class activity.
In this class of grade 9s, the WhatsApp team hand out tablets that will assist students not only with their studies, but are also tools to help them design apps ranging from cooking lessons to community safety.
If the people in the community see that there's a criminal act happening, they can use their smartphone or their device and use the app to contact the police instantly.
And they are keen to join the global hashtag generation to be part of the digital revolution.
As technology is definitely the way of the future, we cannot allow our youth to remain behind. We cannot allow their economic circumstances to leave them behind. And that is why I'm glad that this project that Marius is running at the school is running with technology, allowing our kids to interact with the latest technology that is available out there.
Along the road linking all the suburbs of the South Peninsula is Masi Pele. Translated as "We will succeed," the community lives daily with service delivery failure and crime.
An angry mob losing patience with poor policing. They want the area to be safe.
In 2015, there were violent clashes with police after the murder of a 15-year-old. A community leader was arrested, and in a show of solidarity, the community marched peacefully for several hours through affluent white suburbs to the Simonstown court, where he is currently standing trial. But even in the absence of a safe environment, the youth of Masi Pele are finding the space to dream of a better future. From its modest origins in 2006, the Rainbow Dreams Trust now not only assists students from Masi, but also Hout Bay and further afield in Philippi and Khayelitsha.
I was a lonely girl with no friends at home, and then this leader from Rainbow Dreams Trust called Nosipo, she came and visited my house. She told me about this Rainbow Dreams Trust Club, and then I felt lovely with it. I felt enjoying it.
In addition to providing after-school tuition and leadership camps, the Rainbow Dreams Trust is training its choir to participate in a competition at Cape Town's Artscape Theatre later this year.
I want to go overseas and let people see that we actually focusing on our future to be something that we want to be. And so we want to express our feelings through music.
I think the role that we'll bring in is for us to groom them, and when we groom them, is for us to discover the crude talent they have. And what Rainbow is exactly doing is that when we discover this talent, we help them to shaping them to what they want to be and exactly what they will be in the future.
I want to be a lawyer.
How come?
Because I know from my priorities, I know that I can talk, I can defend people, but not negatively, but positively.
And like the meaning of the word Masi Pele, they are determined to succeed. The picturesque seaside suburb of Hout Bay is a microcosm of South Africa, consisting of a small, affluent, mainly white community, framed on one side of the bay by the predominantly coloured fishing village of Hangberg, and on the other side is a predominantly Xhosa-speaking township of Imizamo Yetu, meaning collective struggle.
I came I saw. To conquer is another journey, another road, another mountain to climb. So much has been taught to me, to love, to lead, to grow, to be.
20-year-old Sami Miselo has lived in Imizamo Yetu her entire life. The only child of a single parent, she's grown up with the gritty realities of township life.
We faced a lot of challenges like gangsterism, drug abuse, substance abuse, and teen pregnancy and all of that.
Each day, this is the sight she beholds, gated estates that are constant reminders of the gulf between rich and poor. She also has to confront another, more personal challenge.
For the fact that I'm a lesbian, so I'll always get those people saying that, why are you this and that? Why aren't you dating guys? We should show you that you're a girl and all this stuff. So, but I don't quite get intimidated by that because I know who I am and what they say and not say. People always talk. I can't live by other people's judgments and stuff. So I always just have a positive mindset.
Sami is an intern at Lalela, an NGO which translated from Xhosa means to listen. Launched in 2010, Lalela offers after-school arts programs to youth at risk in Imizamo Yetu, Hangburg and Masi Pele, as well as Johannesburg.
We just basically give them a freedom to express who they are. We write curriculums that are that are very interesting enough to engage them in themselves being creative people. We use the situations where they come from in their neighborhood to be able to express them in their art.
Sami joined Lalela after completing a leadership program. After her matriculation, she was subsequently recruited as an intern.
I can describe art of Lalela as a place where you can be open, a place where you can always be free, say whatever you want to be, and there will always be people for you to comfort you whenever you need help.
We're not here to create an entire army of artists. Our aim is that we want to use the creative process for self-development to help them imagine their futures, reimagine their futures.
I think the first growth in Lalela, I will talk about seeing an impact of what Lalela does to kids. And it tells you that we are doing something because I can count, we've got graduates. When we started in Houtbay High in 2011, the first class we had 2 learners. One graduated in retail and business management, and the other one is doing her 4th year in accounting at UWC.
My dream and my goal is to be there, to fly. I want to become a pilot, commercial pilot. Last year I applied at the South African Flight Academy in Pretoria. I got accepted, but due to funding I couldn't go. So I was told that I should apply for South African Air Force so that I can be a member for 2 years and do a training for 2 years, and also a Navy for 2 years so that they can help me study further.
One of the things that our outcomes is that when they exit school, we want them to either go to a tertiary institution of education, but if not, that they are employed in a meaningful job. And that doesn't mean that they have to become lawyers and doctors, but that they become contributing members of the country.
Silikamva means we are the future. Funded by the Western Cape Education Department, it opened its doors in 2013 and it serves as the main high school for Imizamo Yetu's youth. This is where many of Lalela's after-school projects take place and where future leaders are being groomed.
It's easy to know what leadership has done for these kids because when they go to other like NGOs in the community, they will just take leadership positions.
A major challenge for these future leaders will be in bridging the gulf between Houtbay's white suburbia and the working class communities that serve as its labour force and geographical bookends. Originally called Mandela Park, Imizamo Yetu has mushroomed from a small informal settlement into an overcrowded melting pot. Service delivery cannot meet its growth and gangsterism is on the rise along with xenophobia. There is also a huge racial divide between Imizamo Yetu and Hangburg, its neighbour on the opposite side of the bay. Still predominantly a fishing community going back generations, unemployment, overcrowding, slow service delivery, drug abuse and consequently crime have taken their toll.
There's a lot of racism between the three communities that happens, and it's Hout Bay is such a strange place because you have Imizamuyethu, you have the middle Hout Bay, and then you have Hangberg, and the three communities don't mix. But in between, at Hout Bay High, there's a large group of kids from Imizamuyethu. And the beautiful thing is, especially in holiday programs, when we start mixing them up, is the friendships that form and the way they start relating to each other, and their preconceived ideas of what the other is like actually starts falling away.
Lalela provides transport for students from Imizamuyethu to Hangberg's Hout Bay High School. When formal classes end, the school becomes a hub of extramural activities for students like 13-year-old Keisha Opperman. A grade 8 student who has been with Lalela since its inception, Keisha lives with her mother, sister and cousin in Imizamuyethu.
As my mother, she understands the stuff that we go through, and I also trust my mom more, and I can tell them anything that I feel like.
The first time when I saw this young girl, she was a very tiny young child, but you would feel her presence in a room.
One of the Lalela classes Keisha attends is on female empowerment. Coming from a woman-headed household, she embraces the powerful message.
We have the opportunities everywhere. You just have to be in the right place and make to see that things do not come to those who are sitting and waiting for them.
In female empowerment, it also means to be a champion. You have to fight all your battles and be your own hero.
Children like Keisha can set an example even to parents, because Keisha grew up in IY, but she's African speaking, and then she fits exactly in that school because it's an African school. So I feel that there can be something that the communities can see in children like Keisha.
But the opportunity was very special and thoughtful, and it sounded very exciting.
And she knows what she wants to be.
TV presenter.
Why?
Because I want to go places and see people.
The great thing about the kids from this class is that they've been here since they were young, and you can see the difference in them. They are enthusiastic, they participate, they're deep thinkers, they're creative, they take risks.
In this art class, the grade 8s have been given a project incorporating visual collage and language.
They have to find words in old books that stand out to them, and once they've cut that out, they have to rearrange them, kind of like fridge poetry, and create poetry that says something about themselves or however it comes out. You only have to sit in on one of our sessions to see how bright and smart and creative these kids are. And they are, the possibilities that they see for our future, we can't imagine. I feel like I learn from them every day.
Life recalls lay far beyond. Food nor fire, ice cold rain. Darkness blowing thunder, overhang lightning, lay beside sleeping bags.
That's power, Ryan. Thank you.
With the knowledge I got from you, I learned that actions speak louder than words. But what are actions to the handicapped? What are words of inspiration to the deaf?
From Ocean View and Masi Pele to Hangberg and Imizamuyethu, while remembering the past, the youth embrace the present. They don't want a handout, just a hand up. Beyond the Rainbow Nation, the future can be frightening, but it also beckons brightly.
We're actually trying to change our youth's perspective and our mindset, because we always have that mentality that we live in a township, we don't have much resources, so we always wait to receive. We don't always look for opportunities that are there outside. So I'd like to actually educate some of the youth to always look for opportunities, and whenever you get opportunity, you should grab them with both hands, because they don't always come.
Ndizokubhalela incwadi ezokunika ithemba, ndizokuculela ingoma ezokuthuthuzela hayungakhali nezokunika ithemba yelingunaphakade